Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, please confirm to me. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Alright, sir. Guys, please check it. What we are discussing there actually. What is the content here we are discussing now? Here the point is like what I'm telling now. In the last session, here I given example. Right, sir. Understand it clearly. In Spring Boot applications, we can provide our own banner in place of the default banner Spring. To provide a custom banner in Spring Boot applications, we have to use the following steps. What are the various steps here we are able to provide here? Create a Spring Boot application, create banner.txt file under the resources folder, right? Generate a custom banner by using any online tool. Search a Spring Boot banner generator in Google. They're already given some URL there to generate this banner. Then after that, copy the custom banner which we generated in the banner.txt file. Okay, then provide the required banner properties in the application.properties file. Already I given some content here. Now try to understand. In the example here we provided some welcome control is a namesake only given. Banner.txt I provided some kind of properties are also be defined here. Application.properties here we provided. Inside this application.properties here we are getting like what there the content here. So something else here we have used some Java code. Next one is like what is the pom.xml, then all the required content here we provided. That's okay, fine. Right, so now let me open the application here. Right, so now Spring Boot app 07. Okay. Right, sir. Once it is coming, then I'll show some other content also. Right. Observe carefully. This properties banner details can be provided. Server port also can be provided. It's okay, right? Banner.txt file by default here we are getting this one. That's why we are getting it. That's okay, fine. Guys, observe carefully. Here, my requirement is like what there. Under the resources folder banner.txt file here we have taken. So is this name is mandatory? Is it possible to change the name of this banner file or not? Is this name is mandatory or is it possible to change the name of this banner file or not? My question is very clear. The banner.txt, is it mandatory or we are able to use any name? Is it possible to use any name or we have to use the banner.txt? That's the question, guys. Okay. All right, sir. Now here I'm going to provide answer for this question. Then what should be the answer here? We can understand. No, we can use any name. This name is not fixed. We can use any name, but the default name is what there? Banner.txt file. Default name is what there? Banner.txt file. But we can use any name. Now let me check this. I want to use, say for example, right click on it and refactor. I want to provide some rename. In place of this banner.txt, I want to use like what the logo, for example. Logo.txt. I've used it. Okay. Refactor. Now this is logo. Observe carefully here. Logo file is available. Logo.txt is available. Now get logo.txt only available. Here only we are getting this data. Now get. I want to run this example. Let me check it how we are going to execute this. Right. So right click on it. Now here I want to execute this program here. Let's see this what banner here we are able to get. I have not used like what there. I have not used that banner.txt. Now here what banner here we are getting, sir? Now tell me what we are getting. The default banner here we are getting or not? Default banner here we are getting. So if I provide the, alright, so default banner here we are getting. Understand it clearly. For example, if I provide inside this, like inside our application, if I provide in place of this logo.txt, if I provide a refactor, then banner.txt, banner.txt, if I provide this, there we are able to get like what there our customized banner here we are able to get. In place of this spring, there we are able to get like what there Durga we are able to get. In place of spring, there we are able to get like what the Durga. That's the content here we have to understand clearly now. But my requirement is I don't want to use this banner.txt. In place of it, I want to change this name. So here we have to go with like what there something as logo here I want to provide, for example, logo.txt. Observe carefully. Logo.txt here we have to provide. Now let's understand this how it is going to be happen here. If you observe this, now logo.txt is not going to be evaluated directly able to provide the default banner here we are getting. Right. Well, in this situation here, whatever the file name, whatever the file we have used to provide this logo, whatever the file we have used to provide this banner, that file name and location must be provided to the respective Spring Boot application, respective Spring Boot. Right. So then how we are going to provide this information here? No, to provide this particular information, open this properties file. There we have to provide some details clearly. What details here we are able to provide there? Observe carefully. No, here we have to provide Spring dot banner dot. Simply here we need to provide like what their location. To that location, class path is equal to under resources folder is available. Directly here we have to use like what their logo.txt. Right, sir. The logo.txt here we can provide. So spring.banner.location class path colon class path in the sense in any class path logo.txt file is available at any class path. IOC container will search for the logo.txt anyway in the class path here. Class path in the sense the resources folder is automatically available in what their class path. There it will search for logo.txt. Right. Now let us check this clearly. Now I want to re-execute the program. Let me re-execute the program here. Now here we are getting the Durga. Durga is a banner here we are getting. Observe carefully. Then previously we got the spring. Now we are getting like what the Durga. Even though I changed the name. Even though I have changed the name of the banner here, not the default not banner.txt, just I've used like what the logo.txt. Now here we are getting the required information. Right, so now this is one point here we have to understand clearly. Alright, so the point is like what I'm telling there. Alright, sir. In Spring Boot applications, Spring Boot applications, we can provide our own banner, in place of Spring, okay, in place of Spring. But here we have to prepare but here we have to prepare banner.txt file with the new banner.txt file with the new banner. That's okay. Now this is normal up to now. But the point here what I'm telling there, in this context, right sir. Guys, just give a minute of time, I'll come back now. Yeah, right, sir. Now, in Spring Boot applications, we can provide our own banner in place of Spring. But here we have to prepare banner.txt file in the with the new banner under resources. Under resources, right? But here my point is what there in this context. In this context, banner.txt file name is not fixed. Is not fixed. We can use any name. We can use any name, but we must provide. But we must provide the new banner name and its location to the Spring Boot framework. To the Spring Boot framework. Also carefully to the Spring Boot framework by using the following property in the properties file. By using the following property in the properties file. Also carefully, in Spring Boot applications, we can provide our own banner in place of the Spring. But here we have to prepare banner.txt file with a new banner.txt file. Here we have to prepare a default text file, that is banner.txt file with a new banner under resources folder. Resources folder. In this context, banner.txt file is not fixed. We can use any name, but we must provide the new banner name. We must provide the new banner file. Any name, but we must provide the new banner file name and its location to the Spring Boot framework by using the following property in the properties file. What property here we have to understand that clearly. Now in the properties file, just I provided like what there content here I provided, that we can understand clearly. Okay, now okay, the spring.banner.location is equal to, all right, file name dot txt, file name dot txt, that we can provide clearly. Right, so now this is exactly the point here what I'm telling there. We can utilize this. Already I shown that programmatic part there, then we can understand clearly. Okay, fine. Next one is after this another point here like what there. Up to now we provided only text represented banner. The data is in what the text represented banner that we created. That's okay, fine. But my requirement is what? Is it possible to provide any image as banner? Is it possible to provide any image as banner? Is it possible to provide any image, an image as a banner? Right. If you observe this point, answer is very clear. Try to recognize this. Try to understand the point here. In Spring Boot applications, we can provide an image as a banner. We can provide an image as a banner, but the consoles, but the consoles must support, the image banners. Alright, sir. The consoles must support what their image banners. There is no guarantee whether the IDEs, consoles are able to print the image, but there is no guarantee whether the IDEs consoles are able to print the image banners. It depends actually. This is one point. But before this, one more point here, we have to understand one small note here. Image banners feature is valid up to Spring Boot 2.x version. Image banners feature is valid up to the Spring Boot 2.x version. Image banners support was removed in a Spring Boot 3.x version. In a Spring Boot, what is it? 3.x version. Observe carefully. So, okay, what I have to do there? If I want to prepare an image as a banner, there I have to change my Spring Boot version from 3.x version to 2.x version. In the 2.x version also, there is no guarantee whether to support this image banners. Why? Because IDEs consoles must support that. IDEs consoles must support that. Then only it is possible to provide the content clearly. Right, sir. Observe this clearly. Then just at least I want to show some content here. Now try to recognize this. A GIF file here I want to provide, but anyway, then we need to understand one property. Now that I want to show that. If you want to provide, any image as a banner, if you want to provide any image as a banner in a Spring Boot application, then we have to use the following steps. What steps can we have to use? Right, now understand this clearly. If you want to provide any image as a banner in a Spring Boot application, then we have to use the following steps. What steps can we have to prepare there? Point number one, here I'm telling there, keep banner, keep the image file, keep the image file, under or resource folder, keep the image file under what there, resource folder. All right, that files may be like what there, .jpg not working, .png also be not working, but it's working, but different symbols it is showing there. Next one is .gif files, maybe chances are available that too it is not displaying properly here. .gif file is available, but it is not displaying properly the content here. You can understand clearly. Keep the image file under the resources folder, .jpg, .png, then what next one here, .gif, not provided properly. We can understand this clearly now. Okay. Then apart from this, what next one here we have to do there, understand it clearly. The second one, provide the image location, configure the image location in the properties file. Configure the image location in what there properties file. Right, so now let's see this one here, how we are going to do this. And before that, one more point here I have to specify there. When compared with both the things, now before that, use Spring Boot 2.x version. Use Spring Boot 2.x version. Then only it is possible. Otherwise, it's not possible here. Let me check this content clearly. How we are going to use like what there version I want to change. How it is possible to change the version, guys? Your pom.xml file is available. The pom.xml file, if you observe the parent now, where is this parent section here? Yeah, here version Spring Boot starter parent is available. Version here, what is available here? 3.1.0 is available. Just we can remove it. There we can click on control space. It has to give, it is giving that versions here, number of versions. No, what are the various versions are available here? Just we can understand clearly. 2.6.3, any version here we can use. I want to use this 2.6.3. When I use this 2.6.3, automatically we have to load this Maven. If you load this Maven, automatically here we are getting like what there, all this, the total 2. That entire library must be changed to 2.6 version here. Now it is indexing totally. Now here we are having so many things here. Now here we are getting like what there, 2.6.0 something else, 2.60. Previously we had like what there, 3.x versions. Now here we are getting like what there, 2.x versions here we are getting. Now try to recognize this. All know. So this is a way now. Then everything is loaded here. Just we have to wait for the moment. Okay. Right, sir. Now it is completed here. Understand this? When we completed this, it's okay. Next one is what? After this, we have to check. Now get logo.txt is available. It's okay. Now in the properties one, first of all, let me get like what there, some GIF file. Where did you use GIF file, guys? Then I have used, I tried with already like what there, then image files and all. Then no use for it. Or else maybe let us check this here. I have some image files there. Say for example, Naguru Babu, one image file is available. Let me copy this. Under resources, I want to paste it. Nagarubabu.jpg is available. Okay, in the properties, then what I'm going to use the property here, Nagarubabu.jpg, that I need to provide. So inside the application.properties here, it's not like this. Now here we have to use the property like what there, Spring dot image dot banner dot location class path. Here I can use like what there, Nagarubabu dot jpg file. All right, sir. Now here I'm providing this data, and these many things here I want to comment. I don't require all of them. I'm using some image here. Just we can use like what there, comment. Yeah, all of them are commented here. Now here I'm trying to use this nagarubabu.jpg. Observe carefully what's going to be happen here now. All right, sir. Now nagarubabu.jpg, I copied this under resources folder. Just I'm trying to use this one, springer.image.banner.location class path colon nagarubabu.jpg. Now here what we are getting there now. Now what we are getting there, then default one here we are getting there, not our own image here now. Understand my point here? So it is not supporting actually. Okay. Even okay, then think about it. I don't want to use this Nagru Babu name here. Just I want to use some banner only. Let me check this clearly. What I have to do there? Refactor. Yeah. Name. Even just I want to use like what there? Banner.jpg. Banner.jpg. Here also I want to change like this what there? Banner.jpg. Let me execute it. Now here, even that predefined ban is also not displaying here. Alright. Now observe carefully. Some warning message here we are getting there. It's like what there? Warning message, not information. Warning message, no? What is that warning message here? No, image banner not printable. Class path resource banner.jpg. Inconsistent metadata read from stream. So that banner is, that means image banner is not printable. It's not printable. Actually, what happened? That banner total data of the banner will be converted to ASCII values. That ASCII values data is going to be displayed. So now here the point is like what there? It is not printable. The data which is available inside the banner is not printable. So because of that reason here, because of this particular reason here, we are getting the content here. Okay. Now the next one is like what there? After completion of this particular one, what next one here? It's not printable here. It's okay. Leave this one. In place of this banner.jpg, I want to provide some other here. Just leave this one. I want to provide like what there? Some other. But some other here I want to provide, rename here I want to provide. Can I provide GIF? No, of course I have already some GIF file here. Right, sir. Now here also I want to change this. No, GIF file. GIF. Let me check it whether it is running or not. Again, the similar kind of error we are getting. Don't worry. Then I will go with some other file here. But in this file, just I want to check it whether it is displaying or not. Again, here warning we are getting the image banner not printable. The same message here we are getting there. Okay, leave this one, not this one here. Really, I have a this JPG file I convert to GIF file. No, no, it's not the way. Directly here, I want to get like what there. Some other GIF file is available with me. I think I downloaded previously. Let me check it. Let me check, guys. Then what's that GIF file actually? Okay, this animated GIF file here. I download it. In downloads, banner.gif already existed here. I think so. Banner.gif is already existed. The same thing here I want to provide. Okay. Yeah, banner.gif is available. Let me copy this. Banner.gif. Banner.gif is existed here. We can understand it now. If we double click on it, now this is an image here. We can understand GIF file, but the animation is not working here inside this IDE. So okay, that I want to use. Banner.gif. Already we provided this configuration. Now let me run it. How it is displaying there? The total GIF file is converted to like what there? The total GIF file is converted to like what there? Some ASCII related text. Understand it. Now here it is providing like what there? The data. It is providing like what there? This is one shape. This is another shape. That means it's animated actually, right? In that animation, each and every moment it is capturing and each and every moment it is displaying now. Now this we are getting perfect shape. This we are getting perfect shape. Then in the animation, Number of frames are available. Every frame is taken here and every frame is displaying as the image now. This also here we are getting some perfect shape now. Like this here we are getting. Right, sir? Understand it clearly what I'm telling you. So this is supporting us. Then as per my search now, number of GIF files I checked here, but this is supporting there. We can understand. Well, up to this part here. Now this is conversion from what there. It is converting from like what they're directly converting from GIF file to ASCII representation. The data will be converted to ASCII representation. In the ASCII representation, these @ symbols, then 8 or something else, the data here we are getting there. Okay, now some other property also I want to use there. Now try to understand it clearly. Yeah. Then I want to check this now. Let me do this one here. One more thing here. I want to provide one image properties here. I want to check now. Spring dot banner dot width depth or maybe invert pixel mode. Pixel mode here I want to use. See this, since this pixel mode, text mode and block mode. Block mode in the sense we are able to get some other blocks. Now try to understand this. Let me run it now. When compared with the previous one, now here we are able to get like what is some kind of block related thing here we are getting. That's it. Previously we are getting like what they directly @ symbols. Now this time some blocks and some black shades. Here we are getting. Okay. Right, so now this is like what I'm telling there. The total content here I'm telling to you. Now try to recognize this clearly. Right, so now this is a maximum information how I'm going to provide that images now. But consoles are not supporting. That's the reason why here we are unable to do anything for this. Right. So now the remaining part is what there. The remaining application is very same. What we have to do there, just simply here we have to create like this one. All right, let me copy this example. Then after that, I'm able to give all the points here. Now this is like what is Spring Boot application. Yeah, then all the concepts I will discuss with you guys. Don't worry. Dev tools and importance of dev tools and everything I will discuss with you. I'm going to. I'm in a process of discussing more content. Purpose of each and everyone I'm going to discuss with you. No need to worry for it. Okay. Right. So next one is what? After the for this now here I need to use mainly what the pom.xml. Pom.xml here we have to provide. Pom.xml file is giving clarity for us what version of the Spring Boot we are using. Now here we have to understand there 2.6.3 not 3.x version here. In 3.x version that images option is removed, that is not existed. Next one is like what the application.properties. This is important. Application.properties. Application.properties here we have used it. Now here we can use these things here banner.gif. Okay, now first of all here we have to get this banner.gif from where here we have to download it from internet here. Any GIF file here we can take, no, any GIF file here we can take, and any GIF file here we can provide. That means we can download from internet. 1 minute. Say for example, note I'm telling there. Okay, banner.gif file under resources. Okay. Okay, right. So then execute the application, and get your image as a banner in ASCII representations. Right. It's okay. Now this is the total awareness and like what there, how to provide images in our content. The data here we understood clearly. Next one is what there. After this, after understanding these images, now in the properties file, not only these images, not only this content here, in the properties file, then what I'm telling here, we can define our own data and we can access that our own data in the Spring Boot applications. Everybody understand my point clearly? What I'm telling to you. In a Spring Boot, what we are able to do there, we can get the data, we can access the data from like what their properties file to the Spring Boot application directly. Not only the predefined configurations, we can define our own data inside the Spring Boot, and we are able to get our own data also to the our own data also into our Spring Boot application. Then how we are going to do that? Now let me confirm this. Let me give clarity on it. 1 minute, sir. Now let me confirm this. Given some steps there. Okay, fine. Right. Observe carefully. In Spring Boot applications, in Spring Boot applications, we can provide our own properties in the application.properties, and we are able to access our own properties data in the Spring Boot application. Right, understand the point here. Another thing is like what I'm telling to you. Another thing is like what there, apart from this, how it is possible to access the value from the properties file. We are able to define properties in the properties file, that's okay. But how it is possible to access the data from the properties file? That point here we have to understand. Right, observe carefully. If you want to get the value from the properties file to a property in the bean component, then we have to use at the rate value annotation. For that annotation here we have to use it at the rate value annotation. See, in entire Spring Boot, we are going to use annotations related content only. We're not going to use like what there. We're not going to use the like what there other content here. Just annotations, purely annotations, completely annotations we are going to use. Now observe carefully. If you want to get the value from the properties file to a property in the bean component, then we have to use at the rate value annotation. Observe carefully. Then the syntax here I'm telling there at the rate value of, here we have to provide an expression. There we have to use like what the dollar curly brace. Now here we have to provide like what the property name in the properties file. What exactly the name key is available, property key of the property. On the basis of the key, value will be written here. Value will be assigned to a particular variable. Right. Now see this one. I'm going to prepare an example, simple example here I'm preparing there and try to understand it clearly. Observe carefully how I'm going to do this content here. Say for example, I want to prepare a separate Spring Boot application for the sake of this. By that we are able to get some clarity. Now try to understand this now. Let me prepare a separate Spring Boot project. How I'm going to prepare this Spring Boot project here now? Spring Boot initializer. Started spring.io. There we have to enter the data. Maven project I have to take. Language is Java. Spring Boot 3.1.0. It's okay. com.durgasoft. Artifact is like for there. Spring Boot app08. Name is Spring Boot 0 app. So it's not like demo project here. It will be like what there. Properties files demo. Package name Spring Boot app08. Packaging jar. It's okay. Then 17. It's okay fine. Now here I need to add one dependency. What dependency we have to add, guys? Now tell me. Only one dependency I required here. Web dependency. Spring Web. Only one dependency I required here. I don't require any other content here. Jayant Agrawal, the very first application I prepared now. Have you attended first application? Can you check it? What is the first application I prepared for Spring Boot? Any first application, guys? All right, sir. Now understand this clearly. Yeah, there I have taken normal Maven project only. In the first application, I have taken Maven project only. Jayant, the normal archetype I have taken, normal quick start archetype I have taken, where web dependency I provided. Yeah, as a very normal project I have taken. There I shown already how to run that application there. Just please check that first application. There we can get it. Okay. All right, sir. So what dependency here we have to add there? Only web dependency that is required. Dev tools and all these things I'll explain there one by one clearly. But as of now, that very bottom, that means very startup applications, no, that's why just web is sufficient. No? Then generate project. Project will be generated here. Spring Boot app08 job. I think what application at present we are preparing here 07. That's okay, fine. Yeah, when it is created, then what we have to do there? Show in folder. Let me copy this. I'll go to D drive. Then all my Spring Boot apps are available here. Paste here. Right click on it. Extrude here. Right, when we extrude this here, we have to open it. Open. My Spring Boot apps is available. Now here I have to open like what is this Spring Boot app 08. Here we have to open it. Right. Right, sir. Now here we are getting our application there. We can open SRC main inside this Spring Boot app 0 app. Now this is about our Spring Boot starter class. Actually, the Spring Boot application execution will start from here only. Starter class here we have taken. Right. Then after this, after completion of this, now what next one here we have to do? Now in a resources folder, application and properties is already existed here. Now there I want to provide some content. What content here I want to provide there? Simple some data here I want to provide, sir. What data here I want to provide there? NO is equal to something else like what there 111. Say for example, I want to provide something else like what there employee dot NO is equal to 111. Employee dot ename is equal to 22. Ename is equal to Durga. Employee dot ESL is equal to 5000. Employee dot EADDR is equal to IDBet. Data I have provided inside this application dot properties. Clear? Next one. Next one is whenever we have taken the data, this data as it is I want to take into the application. So here I want to prepare a bean class to get the data. I want to take what there one bean class to get the data here. Do one thing. Otherwise, yeah, this application I will do next separately. This application I will do separately. But first of all, I want to show something else. Name is equal to something else. Here I want to provide like what there. Durga. Name is equal to Durga. I want to provide. This is like a simple property here I've taken. Observe carefully. A simple application. After that, I will go with some other application then. Name is equal to Durga. I provided. Inside this, then what I'm telling there, I want to prepare a controller class. Simple controller class I want to prepare. New package I want to provide. The package name is like what there controller. Inside the controller here I'm going to take like what there some welcome controller or maybe a wish controller here I want to provide. So Java class here I need to provide. Now this is like what there wish controller. Now inside this wish controller, then what we have to do there? I need to prepare a method. Also carefully, the methods are like what there public string say wish. Inside this say wish here, what I'm telling there, just I want to return right. Hello user, good morning. That I want to provide the data. Hello user, good morning. Yeah, of course, wherever we want to get the data, there we can utilize this. Then how I'm going to provide the data, just I'm going to show this point here. Now try to understand first of all. Public string say wish, return hello user, good morning. Okay, fine. Alright, sir. Now here, what annotations here we have to use, guys? Now tell me. This is like what there. I want to declare it as what the REST controller. Point number one. Here, what I have to provide the request mapping here. I have to provide or not? Request mapping. Inside this request mapping, what value here I'm going to provide there? Just a wish. Wish is like what there? My request mapping. That what we prepared. No, it's okay. Of course, in application dot properties here, just I have given that name Durga. It's okay, normal. Later on I will use this. No need to worry for it. Even I want to remove this. Later on I'll use this. Now wish controller is ready. Alright, now this is also be existed here. Okay, now here I want to execute this simple program. Okay, now Spring Boot application is started. When Spring Boot application is started here, just we can open the browser. In that browser, just we can use the http:// 800 default port here we are using it. Then wish is the value here we provided. Here we are getting the value like what value here we are getting here. Observe carefully. Hello user, good morning. But my requirement is what I'm going to do here. Observe carefully in the same application. My requirement is what? Now in properties file, I want to provide some name. Name is equal to Durga. This name here I'm trying to provide. Name is equal to what there? Durga. Durga is the name here I want to provide. Try to recognize this. Okay. Name is equal to Durga. I provided. Same way I want to get into the wish controller. If we want to get the same thing into the wish controller, then what we have to do there? Here we have to provide private string name, any variable. That means not exactly name here. We can use like what the username, for example. Any name here we can take. All right, sir. And it's a setter and getter also here we have to prepare. Setter and getter here we have to prepare, especially setter. Getter is not required here. Setter we can prepare. Just above of this particular one, directly here what I'm telling there, at the rate here we can use like what there, value at the rate value here we have to provide there here we have to use like what the dollar along with dollar curly braces here we have to use, where we have to use like what the name, there we have to use like what the name. If we use name here, automatically from the properties file for name, what exactly the value is available, that value will come to the this username variable. Now the same username variable here I want to use. Same username variable here I have used here. Now here we can use like what their username. Now let me check this here. Now this is a content here. First of all, I define a name is equal to Durga. In which controller I have taken a property. Any name, property name should be anything here, but it must be provided with at the rate value, dollar name. Now dollar is what, that an expression where we have to provide key in the properties file. Then setter method is required. Why? Because by executing setter method only, value is going to be provided here. By executing this setter method only, value is going to be provided here. We can understand this clearly. Then after providing this, now let me execute this content here. If we execute this now, stop on return here. Of course, application is executed. Now here we have to open the browser. In the browser, just refresh the content here. Now here what we are getting is, now tell me, hello Durga, good morning here we are getting or not? Hello Durga, good morning here we are getting or not? Everybody understand my point here? Hello Durga, good morning. Here we are getting the data. Observe carefully. Here we are getting the data like what there. Hello Durga, good morning. This is a clear-cut information here. We can understand how to access the data. Okay, from the properties file. This is one point here. Not required, Jayant. Why? Because we are using that properties file in the default location only. We are providing the content in the default location only, Charan Kumar. Without at the rate value annotation inside the method system.out.println statement, directly we use that dollar name data come. I think so, no. Why? Because this annotation is specifically provided for what purpose there? This annotation is provided more specifically for what purpose there? No, for the sake of this particular one only. For the sake of like what there, reading the data from properties file and getting the data here. For this particular reason only, this properties, this particular thing is provided. Okay, this is one point. Yeah, that's okay, fine. Okay, now here we are getting the data. Now observe carefully. A property file is in another module. How can we call that over here? Yeah, at the rate property source, so some annotation we are going to use. Yeah, at some other location we can keep that properties file. Then I will show that one also. What are the various possible locations to keep our properties file? How to access that properties file? Then we have some content. I will discuss about it. Right, sir. Then that's why I'm telling that step by step, I'm giving the points. Don't hurry for it. Each and every point we are going to understand. All right, sir. Yeah, this properties file concept is not like a small topic. Then so many points I'm discussing. No, one by one, I'm discussing with you. Now try to understand it clearly. Okay, fine. Now get observe carefully. Then after this, say for example, then for the sake of you, I'm telling one more point. Can now try to recognize this. Name is equal to Durga here we have taken. That's okay, fine. I want to extend the same application up to the next level. Now try to understand it. What's the point here I'm telling to you? Observe carefully. For example, employee dot ENY is equal to 111. Employee dot E name is equal to Durga. Employee dot ESAL is equal to 50,000. 0.0F. Employee dot EADer is equal to Hyderabad. Employee related data I provided. Even the prefix also here I provided. What is the prefix name? For each and every key here, prefix is what there? Employee. Observe carefully. Okay, then after this, what I'm trying to say now, after providing this data, the next one is like what there? I want to read this data. To read this data directly in Wish controller, I can take ENO property, ename property, ECL and EADD here. Then I can use like what there? At the rate value annotation, then directly I'm able to get it. Okay, there I can access the data, that's okay. But that is not my requirement here. My requirement is like what there? Understand it. My requirement is very clear. My requirement is I want to take a bean component here now. Some other bean component here I want to take. Right click on it and a new package. Inside the package here I want to take like what there? A bean, something else, beans. Inside these beans now, beans or maybe model, anything here we can take. No, I want to take an employee class, employee. Inside this employee class, just I want to take like what there? Private int ENO. Private string ename. Private float ECL. Private string EADDR. Like this here we have taken or not? Now for them I want to take status and getters. No, alt insert. Sorry. Alt insert getter and status. No, select all. Click on OK button. All status and getters can be provided. Now inside this employee object here, I want to provide all the content. So here what we have to do there, at the rate value here we have to provide. Charan Kumar, I think you are getting solution now. Value. Now here what we have to provide there, dollar here. Here we have to provide like what there, employee dot ENO. Of course, I need to take it as a string. Like this here we have to take this. Similarly, the same annotation here we have to use like what there for each and every one. For each and every property, we have to use the same annotation with the proper key. Now get the key is like what there ename. Here the key is like what there ESAL. And here the key is like what there EADD here. Right, sir? Key here we provided for all of them. Internally setter methods are executed. Automatically values here we are getting there. That's okay, fine. But observe carefully, guys. I'm going to get the data from properties file. This data into the bean component. That's okay. But this bean object must be created or not? This bean object must be created or not? Right, sir. Just understand, Charan Kumar. I will give that point also. Right, this bean object has to be created or not? This employee object must be created or not? In the case of the Spring applications, who has to create that bean objects? No, container has to create this. Am I right or not? Container has to create this. So, in Springboard, in Spring or Springboard, whatever it may be, some stereotype annotations are available, especially to create a bean object. To create a bean object, one stereotype annotation is available. That stereotype annotation is like what there? At the rate component. When we prepare this at the rate component, no, automatically IOC container will create this bean object. While creating this bean object, after creating bean object, automatically all the at the rate value annotation is going to be executed. By the execution of at the rate value annotation, automatically all the properties which are coming from what their properties file. In application.properties file, automatically here we are getting all the data. Okay, fine. Now employee bean object is created. because of this at the rate value attribute, all the data here we are getting into like what there, this particular content here. That's okay. Up to that it's okay. But I want to get this data into my wish controller, for example. I want to get this data to like what their wish controller. Otherwise, I'm going to prepare another controller class now. Employee controller class here I want to take from where I want to get the data. Now let me check this here inside this controller now. What I'm going to use there, new Java class. What Java class here I want to take now? Now this is like what their employee controller. Employee controller I want to take. All right, sir. Now here what I want to provide the method here, public string get employee. This is my method. Guys, all of you now tell me what I have to do there inside this now. Inside this, then what we have to do, guys? Now tell me. First of all, I need to declare this a REST controller or not? Or REST controller. Nice. Now before this method here, what we have to provide, guys? Now tell me. Come on, what annotation here now? At the rate. Come on. At the rate. Request mapping or not? Inside this, just I need to provide like what there slash employee, or simply here I want to write like what there EMP. Either EMP or employee. Here we can use like this. EMP here I want to provide. Now here I need to return the value. How I'm going to return the value here now? Just observe carefully. Employee details here I need to get no double quotation, semicolon. Observe carefully. Here I need to use this. First of all, now here I need to get. And one more thing. Here, if you want to get that employee details now, I need to get that employee. I need to inject this employee object to the employee controller or not? I need to inject that employee object or not? To provide this employee object here, what we have to do there? Private employee. Here we have to use like what there? Employee. Here we have to use employee, but observe carefully. Now here I want to provide like what? Observe carefully. What I have to provide there? At the rate auto void. Understand this clearly? Employee are declared with that with what there at the rate component. So container will create object. Container will access this total value attribute. All the values are provided from properties file. That data I'm trying to get into the employee controller by providing a property and by declaring it as what there auto void. Automatically employee object will be auto void into like what there employee object will come to what there this particular employee controller. Right, sir. Now inside this I'm going to display that employee data. What data here I'm trying to display now? Observe carefully. Here I'm going to display like what there employee dot get envo first. Okay. Now here comma plus now here what we have to provide there employee dot get ename comma double quotation and plus double quotation open again here employee dot get esal get esal comma double quotation and plus double quotation start. Now here employee dot get EADDR. That's it, guys. Now return this total employee data here I want to provide. Now just here I want to specify like what there employee here itself I can provide like what there ENO colon ename colon now here I can specify like what there esal colon EADDR colon. Like this here I'm able to provide all the data. This is completed. First observe carefully. Flow of execution I'm telling to you, observe carefully. In the properties file we provided all the data. This data will be stored into the employee object because of @ value. An object is created by container because of @ component. In employee controller, there is a REST controller where auto void we declared a property employee property. Auto void annotation here we provided automatically. Employee object is injected to employee controller Now inside this get employee method is I have given there, that URL endpoint is what there, EMP, then it is returning the total data. If you want to get the data in the form of like some big font here in the browser, we can use like what the /h1 at the end. At the end also here we can use like what there /h1. In a big data, big font here we are able to get it. Okay, clear? This is the content here. So directly I'm able to get the data. Right, sir. So wish controller we can access by using wish, where we are able to get value. Employee controller we are able to access that employee controller with what there, EMP. Now let me execute it. Right, sir. It's okay. Spring Boot project was started. Open the browser. In the browser previously we are having like what there, wish. Hello Durga, good morning. That's okay, coach. Now here in place of this wish, I want to start with like what there, EMP. Same EMP I want to provide. There we are getting the data. Observe carefully. Employee ENO is equal to 111. E-name is equal to Durga. E-SAR is equal to 50,000. E-header is equal to Hyderabad. The data also here we are getting there. But actually I provided data in the properties file. The data here we are getting the bean component. The bean component is injected to the controller. Controller is able to get the data. Controller is able to display the total data. Okay, now this is one thing here we can understand. All of you are getting it or not? Alright, sir. But observe carefully. I want to say one more point. What is this point here I'm telling to you? Alright. Here we are using this. Alright, sir. Let me provide this sender application, guys. For the sake of you, I'm telling to you. But small change I will do there in the next no. Just understand it clearly. First of all, here, what I have to prepare then, this is application.properties, not like this. First of all, I want to prepare this controller components, wish controller. Wish controller.java. It's okay. After this wish controller.java, next one is what there. I need to provide employee controller.java. This is another controller. Employee controller.java here we have to take. Now inside this employee controller.java, then after this what next one here? After this application, okay, employee.java I want to prepare. Employee.java. In employee.java, controller is okay. Application.properties. We provide it. After this application.properties, then Spring Boot application.java. Spring Boot application.java. Spring Boot AVP08 application.java. Like this can be provided. Right, sir? Hardware annotation will go with what there internally. Then which one it is using there internally? Jayant Agrawal. Core module questions now we are asking in Spring Boot. Right, sir. Then without injecting into the Spring bin, we cannot use property file data directly. No. Then what I'm telling there, wherever we require the properties file data, we can there declare a variable and provide at that value annotation directly. In the first case, what you have seen in the controller class, we have provided this, right? In the controller case, in the wish controller, I declare a name in the properties file. That value I got into the controller class. See, wherever we require the properties file with data, they declare a variable with respect to the property and use at the rate value annotation. There we are able to get it. Charan Kumar. Yeah, setter method is required. Definitely. Variable and setter methods we required here. But in the case of this example, in the case of this, what there? In the case of like injection, dependence injection, directly at the rate auto void annotation we have used there. Automatically component scan is going on there internally. It is at the rate component scan is going on. Then at the same time internally, like what we provided here in the controller class there, we injected like what there, uh, directly employee controller. We injected this private employee not required to provide any setter care in this case. Why? Because it's a component scan. Through component scan care it is provided now. Okay, all right. All right. And Jayant Agrawal, your doubt I'm asking there. So now we are using, now tell me, is it a bean factory or application context? Bean factory or application context or web application context? What container we are using there? More or less, application context. If it is application context, now tell me, at what time it is creating bean objects? No. At what time bean factory is creating bean objects? At what time this application context is creating there? Yeah. By that we can understand at what time it is providing. Identify the answer for it, then we can understand it. All right. Guys, then where we are now, listen carefully. All of you, please understand one time here. Guys, everybody, understand 1 minute. You. Then one important point I'm telling you. Observe carefully. Guys, in application.properties, what are the properties names now? ENO, ename, eCell, EADDR. Okay. In the, remember this, ENO, ename, eCell, and EADDR. In the employee class, what are the properties names here now? ENO, ename, eCell, EADDR. Am I right or not? So in the properties files, all the properties names in the bean class, all the names, all the bean properties names, both are same or not? Come on guys, now tell me, both are same or not? Please recognize my statement, what I am telling to you. In the properties file, ENO, ename, eCell, EADDR, and in the employee.java, ENO, ename, eCell, and EADDR, both the names are same or not? Properties names in the properties file and variable names inside the bean class, the names are same or not same? No response. What people are doing, sir? Why you are not responding to me? Just I'm asking this question to you. Both are same or not same? Right, sir. Both are same. So when both are same, why don't we copy the values directly from properties file to this bean objects directly? What is the requirement to use every time this at the rate value annotation? What is the requirement to use at the rate value annotation every time here? Why don't we copy the values directly from properties file to bean object? Yes, we can get them. By default, we are able to get them, but we have to use one annotation. What is that annotation here? We have to use there. That annotation should be like what there? At the rate, configuration properties, at the rate configuration properties. There we have to provide like what there? There we have to provide prefix is equal to, there we have to provide like what there? Employee. Okay. Prefix is equal to what there? Employee. That's it. Now inside this application dot properties employee prefix name is available or not? That prefix name is provided. All the properties names are very same. Then immediately here inside this bean component, what we provided here no. So here we are getting configuration properties prefix is equal to employee we provided automatically. What exactly the names are matched, that values of that properties names are stored are automatically coming to like what there? These properties clearly. These properties can. Now observe carefully. Now this time in the properties for I want to provide some other data. What data here I want to provide it 222. Simply I want to provide some other data. Now it will be like what the 60,000. Now it will be like I want to provide like what the Chennai. This data here we provided here. Yeah, definitely. Prefixes should be same of all the properties. Otherwise, it will not access it. Prefix name must be what we provide a prefix name. That prefix name must be provided. Apart from that prefix name, that names must also be matched with the bean component. In the bean properties, that names must also be matched. Right, sir. Now this is what we prepared. No, right, sir. In the employee dot directly we can provide like what are the configuration properties. No need to think about this warning message. I will give solution even for that also, but don't worry for it. Now, as of now, it's okay, no issues. It will be executed. Now, here, let me restart our project here. Stop and return. It will restart there. Now, application is started. Open the browser. In the browser, what we are getting there, EMP1 I want to get. Now, let me refresh it. Now, what data we are getting there? New data here we are getting or not? Here we are getting the new data or not? That's it. Directly the data is coming to the bean component or not? Right. Now this is exactly the advantage of like what there one annotation. What is this annotation? This is not required. No need to think much about it here. Okay, not required here. So what is the advantage of this particular annotation, guys? Now tell me what is the advantage here? At the rate configuration properties annotation is available. This annotation is copy the values directly from properties file to the bean component when the properties files names and bean properties names are matched. When both are matched, automatically the data is copied from properties file to the respective bean component. This is a point here we have to understand. Now let us check this point here. Now here inside our content, what I'm telling there, if the properties file properties file provided properties names and the bean component job properties names are matched, then we are able to copy the data from the properties file to the bean component properties directly without using value annotation, value annotation, but we have to use the following annotation at a bean class level. What is that annotation here we have to use there? What is that annotation here we have to use there? At the rate, come on guys, now tell me, at the rate configuration properties where we have to provide prefix is equal to some prefix value. Here we have to provide that I provided. Now example code also here I given there. Right, so now let me check this clearly. So those all features are same for Spring and Spring Boot. No, then these things are working with the Spring Boot mainly. Okay, but whether they are working with the Spring or not, we have to check later on. But as of now, they are working with the Spring Boot. Okay. All right. Now here I'm providing this properties file. And copy. Okay. Otherwise, the entire application I want to provide to you. Now try to export it. First of all, now what we have to do there? Which controller is a normal? Which controller dot Java. Next one is what there? Employee controller dot Java. After this, employee controller and wish controller. Next, what we are having there? Employee dot Java. As a bin here, we have to understand like what there. employee.java. After this employee.java, next one is like what the abc.properties, application.properties. After this application.properties, next one here, finally, Spring Boot ABB 08 application.java, 08 application.java, like this. That's it. All the components I covered here. Alright, so now this is what exactly the point here I'm giving here. So finally here we are getting directly we copy the values from properties file to the bin component directly by using what annotation here? Just by using @configuration properties annotation, where we have to provide properties like what I'm telling there, properties, that means prefix name. For example, if no prefix is available, no need to use that prefix certificate. Directly we can get the copy from properties file to the respective content. Right guys, all of you are getting clarity on these points now? Guys, no response. All of you are getting clarity on these points? Whatever the concepts I'm discussing with you. So try to practice each and every example, otherwise you will not understand it. Don't take it as light. Then even I'm trying to cover more and more content. So please try to recognize the content, try to implement, try to practice each and every example. Then only we are able to get it. When each and every annotation I'm discussing there, now try to understand it. All these annotations, see, Spring Boot in the sense, definitely everything is annotated related content only. There is no chance to use that XML documents. No. That's why here we are going to talk about more about annotations totally. Okay. Right, guys. That's all, guys. That's all for today. Then tomorrow we don't have any session there on this. I'm going to take a Hibernate class. Like what their Hibernate class up to 10 o'clock. I'm going to take on tomorrow, maybe 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Tomorrow I'll decide that. Minimum 3 hours of time I want to share. Yeah. Srikant, now just take this. This is the notes. This is a classroom notes. Link, you can take this. https:// tinyurl.com Spring Boot 8 a.m. notes. Okay. Srikant, just take this URL, then you are able to get it. Okay. Guys, and still some people are not entering your admission number. So people are not entering your admission number. Please try to join with the class with admission number. Kiran, then you are one person. All right, like this. So many members today. Every day I'm giving this intimation there. Please recognize it. So next one is what there. Patha Kotu Reddy, then Rahul Kondekar. Okay, and some other members. I'm unable to read that members also. Please recognize it and try to join with the admission number. Everybody has joined with admission number. Please check it. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks. We'll meet on tomorrow. Tomorrow will not tomorrow. On day of tomorrow, I will continue the class for this, and tomorrow I'm going to take long session for Hibernate. Try to attend for Hibernate. Those who are attending Hibernate classes. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. We'll meet on tomorrow. We'll meet on Monday. Thank you.